Hey everyone. So I want to talk to you about classical Greek drama and Athenian society. So I really wanted to just give you an overview. Normally we would really sit down and spend a whole day taking notes on this, but I want to just talk to you about it a little bit so it makes sense as we dive into Antigone. So Sophocles wrote Antigone. He lived a really long time ago. He wrote so many plays. You already know this from the Ed puzzle, so we'll just continue on. I want to talk to you about some elements of Greek drama. So it's characterized by protagonists who are typically highly renowned and prosperous, meaning like kings and royalty and stuff like that. They undergo a reversal of fortune, some sort of fall from greatness caused by their hamartia, and like you learned from the Ed puzzle, it's just to miss the mark. Like you're trying, but it doesn't go how you want it to go. This error is typically hubris or excessive pride. So there's a peripeteia, which is the protagonist's reversal of fortune. There's an anagnorisis, which is the protagonist is when they realize that things are bad, they've messed up somehow. There's fate, which we all know, like how Oedipus could not escape his fate, and gods really hate hubris in humans. So the origins of Greek drama is that Athens is typically a celebration for the god Dionysus. Those celebrations included choir dancing and leaders chanting, and eventually that sort of turned into plays. So there are 3 actors maximum on stage, and so that's what you're going to see in Antigone when we start reading. There are 12 to 20 chorus members. It's performed during the day because there's no lights to light it at night, written in poetic verse. There's unity of time, space, action, and subject, which means that it's all sort of happening in real time. It's not like you have subplots or anything like that. It's just pretty straightforward, linear, and it doesn't take place over the course of weeks or months or anything like that. Action is more important than character development. There's dramatic irony, and there's no stage violence. It all occurs off stage because of just the limitations of the technology at the time. Can't really see Oedipus gouge his eyes out because that would require special effects, and we don't have that. So, like we talked about, the chorus is a group of people. It is for setting the tone, to comment on things, to reflect the values and the views of the audience. So they sort of represent the audience members and how they would be grappling with the action on stage. So women were super sheltered. They spent almost all of their life controlled by male guardians, either husbands or fathers. Fathers before they're married, husbands after they're married. They were really important in 2 regards. Oikos, which is the family realm, whereas philos is a word to describe kinship, love, and family or friendship, and the polis, which is their duty to the state by basically producing male heirs. So if a family had no male heir, the daughter was expected to carry on the family line and was forced to basically accept marrying whoever, especially like closest family member, maybe like a cousin or something like that, to ensure that the family's financial resources were kept in the family. And the ultimate aim for women was basically to be silent, to have people not talk about you. So if people were talking about you, it was bad. It wasn't very good, and you were doing something wrong. So another important thing before we get into Antigone is that women were in control, or their duty to their family was burial rites and burying their family members, because if they didn't bury their family members, individuals would not rest in peace in the afterlife. Instead, they would sort of just be subject to Rome and spend eternity suffering. They would never truly be at rest. So, like we have been talking about, the point is to entertain and teach. They were meant to show tragic heroes as cautionary tales, what not to do unless you wanted to end up like them, reinforce social norms, and basically from going against the status quo. That was a very quick crash course, but I wanted you to know this information before we started and dove into the play.